Good evening. How everyone doing today? God is good and God is good all the time. My name is my name is Irma J. I'm a spiritual divine, and I'm also of solved murders and missing person. Unsolved murders and missing person. I don't know why I be trying to see without my glasses on. This girl, I can't pronounce her name. Marlon, Malloroy, and her last name Beach, Beach. Now this girl, inside a crash, that killed, that that she was killed. Okay, the same girl, I saw her this morning. So whoever the family are, you can contact me. My email will be down below because I do unsolve missing person 'cause I am a spiritual divine. So I saw your daughter this morning. I will give you more information when you contact me down below. Um, and her name is Malloroy. I can't pronounce it. Last name is Beach, Beach. So if that's your daughter, or anybody know of this daughter, or this person, please contact me, because I did saw your daughter this morning. Um, and I give you more information on what I saw and where she at. Cause that's okay. So that's the story on that. So and I was struggling through crimes without punishment. And this woman here, she was a former Dallas police chief, host the police in a community that can bridge gaps. She pretty much was dealing with the community. Almost a lot of crimes is in the community, and a lot of people know different people. And her name was Renee Hall. She unsolved homicides, and she was 6 months years old when her father was killed in a line of duty. You know, so from this day on, her father murder still remain unsolved. So her goal is to make sure no one else has to live through the same level of trauma, despite the circumstances of her father. That would determine her to be a police. Since she was 6 months years old, so that means she wasn't able to even see her father. So Hall pursued a career in law enforcement. She became an officer at the age of 28 years old. She was a chief of Dallas Police. A department leader of force of more than 3,600 officers. She goes to a community where relationship are challenged. She go in the community where it was real rough at. You know, real rough at. So that's a community she'll go to try to get answers to. Because she unsolved homicide. So she went where it was tough at. And she made that her career after she was 60 months years old and her father was killed in the line of duty. She wanted to make sure that's her mission, so no one else, had to suffer. And she solved a whole lot of unsolved crimes. So that's the story on that. And also, I just want to talk about my goal or my purpose is to try to give all parents closure. So when their children, all their loved ones go missing or unsolved, I'm gonna do the best as I can to help. Because I know all parents will not rest until their child body are found. No parent, it's not special woman. They will not rest until they have answers of what happened to their child. So crime does matter. We have to make it our first priority. Because they got so many crimes that's being unsolved. Because they're just tossing it on the side. We have to start making all these crimes our first priority. It has to be our first priority. Because if you're a parent, imagine how another parent feel. She gonna keep harassing and keep going to that police station until she get answers. You know, it's so many crimes is being unsolved, and we have to start making our first prize. You know, my purpose is I can see all the crimes. I can see where they at. So I'm gonna help to unsolve all these missing, unsolved murders, all the unsolved crime, all these missing um, people that's constantly being missing. And I've been seeing all this for years and did not know it was my purpose. You know, so we gonna start making these crimes and unsolved murders our first priority. We're no longer gonna be pushing it on the side because I can't see where the person is located at. So we're gonna make this our first priority. And I also just talked about this unsolved murder in Jackson, Mississippi. Just talked about that on July the 14th. You know, this woman here, you know what I just was talking about. She just kept on pounding, kept on going and going to the police station, trying to find answers. You know, because you can't have a proper funeral if you don't find your child body. A woman will not be at ease. You know, so people have to all these murders and unsolved crime being tossed on the side. You know, it has to be our first priority because you got to remember they have parents. You know, if their parents gone, they still got grandmother and uncles. Somebody needs to know what happened to their child or either where their child at. You know, they cannot have a funeral if they can't find the body. You know, so we gonna start making this our first priority and stop tossing these unsolved crimes on the side and start digging into it. You know, and make sure y'all put all these unsolved crimes on a platform where I can help these parents find their children. You know, so there's so many murders is being unsolved. You know, and we have to realize crime does matter, and we have to start making our first priority. Okay, so we talked about this girl that I saw this morning. She was in a crash that killed teenagers. You know, and they never found her body. They could have never found her body because I saw her. You know, so I need the family or the parent of this daughter here to contact me. My email will be down below where I can give you more information where she at. You know, so we talked about that, and I would like to hear from the family later on today. You know, so we also talk about the crime without punishment. What this former Renee Hall, you know, she assaulted homicide. You know, because she was 6 months years old when her father was killed in the line of duty. You know, so she made this law enforcement her career. You know, and she been doing excellent job. You know, she go in the roughest community to find answers. You know, she was not scared. She went into tougher communities to find answers. You know, and remember she saw homicide. You know, so that's a field that she got into after her father got killed, and she grew up to be an officer. You know, and she also was department lead in a force of more than 3,600 officers. You know, so she did good after her father was deported. She never was able to see her father if she was 6 months years old when he got killed. You know, so we talked about that. We also talked about my goal now is to try to give all parents closure, because all parents need closure when their child is murdered and it's unsolved, or this child are missing. You know, we have to start making this our first priority. You know, so all this murder and crime being unsolved, you know, we have to start digging back into it. You know, because all these parents, you know, I realize them children, you know, they have parents that love them. You know, uncles, grandmothers, they have parents that love them. They cannot give a funeral to a person if they never have found the body. You know, so we have to make this our first priority because crime do matter. We have too many unsolved murders. Too many unsolved murders. You know, so when I talked about the one in Jackson, Mississippi, You know, CBS went down there and talked with her. And then later on, then they solved the crime who killed her son. You know, so sometimes it takes more talking to bring it out to the platform for to get some kind of justice done. You know, because it's too many unsolved murders is just being pushed on the side, and we have to start digging into it and make it our first priority. You know, so that's all the news I have for y'all on today, and I'll see y'all on the next video. Thank you.